Howdy everyone, we're back to more for the 2023 Imperium Cup for Dune Imperium with the Rise of X and Immortality expansions. I'm your host and commentator, the BlackShadow, and we are coming to the end of the second round of knockouts. The quarterfinals are now looming. There is only a handful of spots remaining to be claimed before we make our way towards the grand final. With 11 matches played, there are just 2 remaining. A reminder of the format here that all of the match winners from this round, as well as the 5 highest scoring second places, will make it through to the quarterfinals, which means that Yasmat and Cherry J are not yet safe. They are the 2 still at risk of not making it as a fastest qualifier, especially Yasmat, who's hanging on by a thread. So we're hoping for results go their way in these remaining 2 matches. As it is, we're looking at Match A today. This is featuring Pooky, Dinosaur, Artemesia, and Mysterium, who was the qualifier from the first round of knockouts. Let's have a look at the players we play in the match today. I'm going to start off with Pooky, who came third over in Group E. It was a pretty decent campaign, all things being considered. It might feel a little bit aggrieved that they didn't actually manage to make a top 2 spot. Starting off the competition pretty decently. Week 2, second place of Armand, and then winning in Week 3 against Count Ilban, against Hizia and Care especially, who actually ended up coming top of the table. It was the only game they didn't win in the entire group stage. But you will notice that Pooky's average points rating was not very good, and that was because the case that the one game they won was pretty narrow, and they just couldn't quite make the ends meet elsewhere, and they had their one real poor result was over in Week 5, their final game, third place of Paul Atreides, and a pretty bad one at that, putting an end to any challenge of hoping to make it to the top 2. But still, I think third place in this group is pretty good. A lot of good players here, Care and Che Guevara especially, I've played a few times, so can't feel too bad, all things considered, and will be fancy himself to try and make their way through to the quarterfinal, but this is a difficult game for sure. A couple of really strong players in this one. Next up, we have the Dinosaur, who came through as 4th place over in Group F. Dinosaur is someone that I have played against quite a few times over the course of my experiences with Dune Imperium. Usually pretty aggressive on the table, more than happy to get stuck in with every combat-heavy leader, but can be pretty tricky to play against as well. I think they'll be a little bit disappointed that they didn't get a little bit further in this group. It was a tough group, though, to be fair. Creative, who is now in the quarterfinals, came through my second round match. Squirrely in Soon as well. It's a bit of a shame as well for Dinosaur. They started off pretty decently. They won the opening game of the tournament for the group in with Eleza E. Kaz, which is a pretty good going. And then followed it up with a second place finish with Count Ilban against Kaysoon as well, but they just weren't able to keep the momentum going, unfortunately. Despite another second place with Raban in Week 4, again losing to Kaysoon, they had a very, very disappointing 4th place playing as the Baron Harkonnen in Week 5, which meant that they had no chances of making their way to the top 2. Only just hanging on to the top 4 places as well. That game was lost to John, who just couldn't quite make up the points elsewhere, so Dinosaur held on for the second round. To be fair, in just a regular random game at any time, like, Dinosaur would probably be my favorite to go through here. But, you know, with a kind of disappointing group stages, I think, for their standards, they really feel they've got a point to prove. I definitely think they're going to be up there, however, but there are some good players around. And Dinosaur also has featured on a fair few of the streams that I've played over the course of our time here on Hidden Assets as well. So there is maybe a tiny bit of name recognition in there that might make players a slightly more wary of Dinosaur, especially if they go very heavy combat style. That can definitely be combated by other potential leaders as well. So we'll see how things go. I think I would still put money behind Dinosaur to get through to the quarterfinals, but, you know, they probably don't feel quite as favourable as they might do otherwise. Next up, we have Artemesia, who came through as a narrow 4th place finisher in Group Q. Artemesia is a stalwart of our competitions here in Hidden Assets. I believe they've been a part of pretty much every single one that I've made, at least, and I think that even goes back into the Agent of Zion era as well. So definitely knows the way around the game, very experienced, very, very solid player. But it was a tricky group for them. I think they negotiated pretty decently. Raymond and Zazbu especially, two very, very strong XMO players. And I think taking a top 4 finish outside of those is not a bad thing at all, especially considering there's some other pretty good players about. Artemesia had to come from behind as well. They had a 4th place finish and a pretty poor one at that in the opening week as Paul Atreides, but managed to come back with some more consistent results, especially finishing in the last game for them with a win with the Baron Harkonnen and then a 2nd place of Duke Leo, just about scraping their way through to the top 4. If there is one thing I would say that I feel from the games that I've played along Artemesia, I think sometimes they can struggle to get off the mark early. That is something that I have noticed on occasion. Generally not a problem, but I do think sometimes they can get off to a bit of a slow start, and then if players start really racing ahead, and it's difficult to catch up. So I think that's one thing I would say for Artemesia to keep an eye for, is just make sure that, they get off to a fairly solid start, and I think they'll be able to expand their game from there. If a Dinosaur doesn't win it, I'd imagine Artemesia would be my next pick to go through here. But I think this will be interesting. Very, very solid player. And last up, we have Mysterium. Mysterium came through as the 6th place finisher in Group I. This is the division that was heavily dominated by BlackShadow and Sneaker Dead, who locked up the top 2 spots very, very quickly. So it became quite a scrap for the rest of them. Mysterium's very impressive win in the final match of the group as Helena against like a Lunatic, It's This Guy again, as well as Sneaker Dead, meant that they were able to cement themselves into the top 6. And then in the first round of knockouts, they had a pretty impressive win, actually, coming in a strong 1st place. One of the best 1st places in the entire round over at the Craze, Lemmy Janister, and Elef Ches. I've played against Mysterium a few times, I seem to recall, and I do think they're definitely a pretty handy player. I think this is going to be a tough game, however, for sure. A lot of good players around, and again, you get into the stage of the tournament now where there's going to be nothing but good players about here. But Mysterium will have confidence in the fact that they got through their 1st round knockout in pretty strong fashion, and they will believe that they can definitely do it again here in the 2nd round. A spot in the quarterfinals awaits. So let's get ourselves to the game. Alright, so we're getting ourselves ready for the match here. Mysterium finds themselves in the 1st seat, which means to be Artemesia to pick first. Let's go have a look at the opening row and text. And there's some fun stuff going on over here. Imperium row. We've got Usurp here, which is the fun card that lets you graft off of the Imperium row, which is pretty good. Talaxor, I should say. But all eyes will be on the Talaxu Infiltrator. A very, very strong card, allowing you to not only graft, but also you're not blocked by agents for that action, which is pretty damn strong card draw, and even give you some intrigues later on as well. So very, very powerful card for 2 specimens. Opening Imperium row is pretty interesting. A couple of fun cards. Charney, Replacement Eyes, especially, is a pretty desirable card. Clandestine Mean can be really cool if you've got a way of being able to send it to somewhere, like, I don't know, a Graph card, potentially. And Kwisatz Haderach, one of the strongest cards of the entire game here, although I have a funny feeling that Kwisatz is not going to get bought. There could well be some worlds where someone, really reveals with free persuasion and just rips this entire row. Might not see any of this, but we'll see how we go. As for our text here, it is Combat Central. All of the battle ones, pretty much. Detonation devices, training drones, and artillery. It is a smorgasbord of violence in the text. And is that going to be matched up with the leaders? Ew, kinda. Romba's there. Ilban can get pretty tasty here. A couple of notable leaders, especially Ilban and Tez, will get picked pretty early here. I suspect you might well see Romba Vernius due to the amount of conflict that is available in this game here. Potential for Romba to look to immediately take artillery with his Signet Ring while doing some actions. That could get pretty good. So a lot of fun here. This should be most interesting. The message here below. This is being recorded on New Year's Day. So just a timestamp for this video. So I expect we'll see Ilban and Tezia in some form. I guess not. I guess not. It's 2024, everyone. It's a new year. It's a new meta. And we're going to go ahead and experience this game. What is going on? Oh, man. This is how you know it's going to be a good game. So Ariana and then Romba Vernius are picked in the first 2 slots. And Mysterium must be wondering, what is going on here? Wow. I do know that Artemesia, I have seen him play Ariana a fair amount, by the way. He does enjoy the lead, although she is tricky to play here. But this is going to be chaotic. Oh, man. I mean, you're going to get Tezia in 2nd spot, right? He's probably looking and thinking, how do I not take Tezia first? What's going on here? He must assume that all the other meta leaders are out, but they're not. They're going to be absolutely stunned to see this. All right, everyone. Well, this is going to be wild. I hope you're ready for the ride. I don't know what I'm going to be able to offer as far as commentary purposes are concerned. I'll do my damnedest. So here we go then. Mysterium is up first. Nothing to be determined here. Opening draws look pretty good. Everyone's got a bit of faction access. Tezzy's drawn both of them, but she's got a ring to come next round, so she'll be reasonably happy. Probably looking at just fold space, maybe like Wealth or something, and then Signet Ring shipping next round looks pretty good. Ilban's pretty happy as well. So I think everyone's got a decent enough draw here opening on. I think everyone will be pretty happy. Opening conflict is, oh my god. Well, opening conflict is the Influence and Spice skirmish. So Tezia might end up just bombing Hardy Warriors. I don't know what she's going to do here. I think I still prefer, if fold space there, just go fold space and like Wealth or Secrets or something. And just start shipping next round. I don't think you need to be borrowing in Hardy Warriors. You could do, but it's pretty greedy. So here we go then. So Ilban opens up with his Signet Ring. So Ilban is looking to go immediate Mentat. No question there. So let's see what Pooky's up to. Do they fancy Steel Suits or the Hardy Warriors, the Folds? Let's go for the fold space. I think that's the more conservative approach. That's probably reasonable. Romba's up next. Romba wants a piece of artillery here. I think we might see Signet Ring opening up with artillery. Bear in mind that the power for Rhombus's ring is he can either get a tech or a tech negotiator. So just goes Wealth early here. Just going to build up some cash. All of the Fremen spots are open. Ariana's not going to decline. I would definitely be putting in, yeah, at least a troop here. Ilban Mentatting, as noted. So Tezia Vernius has still got Hardy Warriors access, which is absolutely bonkers. And if I was Tezia Vernius, I would be just bomb it. No reason not to bomb it here. You got 5 Persuasion as well. There's some good cards out there. You can be first reveal. Replacement Eyes looks really good for you. Yeah, I'd be pretty happy. I don't know how Pooky's managed to get Fold Space and Hardy Warriors here, but the other players are complicit. So I'd be putting in all 4. Honestly, I'd be putting in all 4 here. It's that bump is too much worth it. Yeah, you've got no daggers as well. Just get them in. Nothing to worry about here. So Romba can decide to grab artillery now with a trip to like Basin or something. I assume that's what he's intending to do. He could even go Haga Basin to like maybe set up for some early training drones, maybe? I don't know. Once you go the early Wealth, it's definitely a curious way to play this. Maybe Romba's just going to look to go immediate detonations. I mean, it's hard to know. We'll see what the plan is here. A few options. Puro Basin, I think, for artillery is just what's going to happen here. Going to look to secure that 2 spice. Obviously, it could be really useful. So, not surprising there. Next tech up here is another cheap one. Sonic Snoopers. That could be of some interest. Ariana's got a ring. Might we see an early research station? No, but she has got odds on Infiltrator, however. And, yeah, Ilban's got both his experimentations, but he's got his action now, so he's going to want to use it. He's going to have to go to Secrets, though, if he wants to. That was the only problem. I don't know if I liked doing that immediate Mentat there. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. Ariana happy just to claim some resources. Reinforcements up next for her. That's the first entry. Pretty strong. So what does Ilban want to do? He's got 3 Persuasion, which ain't great. He feels like he wants to get Infiltrator, but he'd have to reveal, and basically it's just Infiltrator, and that's about it. He'd be gambling on anything decent coming on the row. He's also got both experimentations. He kind of wants to use one. He wants to use a Seek Allies card, but it's only Secrets available to him. So kind of a weird spot for Ilban here with this Mentat. This kind of, sometimes I think it's better to be revealing first here in these opening rounds, and that is not what's going on here. So, but you feel like you've paid the Mentat. You've kind of got this draw. You've got no convincings. Bear in mind, your next hand is currently Diplo and double convincing. So you feel kind of obliged to take an action here, really. He's gonna draw. He's gonna look for... But the problem is, I don't really know what you're looking for here. I guess you're looking for convincing, which was likely to get it. He does get it. Wants some spice here. Feels he's got to not allow Ariana tons of stuff here, so... Has to bear in mind, Romba's got artillery, so just going to put his nose in front here. Pays the two troops for the spice. Tesia does get replacement eyes. Shifting Allegiances turns up for Romba Vernius. They will not be declining this. As they then decide to decline it. They want swords. They're going all in artillery here as Romba Vernius. Wow. Ariana with a couple. Not a bad Imperial row, all things considered. Ilban's going to get Baron Talax research. He's a little bit fortunate here, but he'll take it. Surely Ariana's got to take the Infiltrator here. And does. Chair Dog's up next. Chair Dog's a cool card. Just goes for the Liaison. Not interested in Guild Admin. I think I would have considered Guild Admin here. I imagine Ilban will just take Benny Talaxia Researcher and probably just keep his specimens up for some beetle bumps, would be my guess. He's looking at Interstellar Conspiracy as well, but I feel like this is just a better card for Ilban. Yeah. Artillery on Romba. So going all in on swords, it's going to actually just dominate the combat. I mean, there's a decent option. There's no... Tez is like the only one I'd say it's a big combat leader. Ilban can be, but it varies. So that's it, all to be resolved here. So Tesia does get it. I think what Tesia should do is... Yeah, she has... No, she's bumped somewhere that doesn't use a snooper here. Remember, Tesia's first snooper is a discard. She wants to get that bonus here. So taking the bump elsewhere, which I think is a good idea. So Tesia will start shipping immediately here. Terrible Purpose is up next, which is pretty decent. She'll just go smuggling to block and also, to, again, start shipping even sooner. Makes logical sense. So we're going to see how the plan is for Romba Vernius here. Does he start just barreling Still Suits / Hardy Warriors here? Does he have other plans? We'll see what the intention is. Feel like it's going to be Still Suits a lot here. And he should know that, in fact, Ariana does not have any mining access. Because it was all there in the first round. Signet Ring and the double experimentation. So he could well go Still Suits Great Flat here. But no, he's going to go Haga Base and Conspire and just set up his Swordmaster here. Look to go Action Economy as well as Artillery and put people in really awkward spots. They know he's got 4 strength. He's going to get at least a spice out of it. Ariana's just going to Hardy Warriors here. Yep, makes sense. This is a good victory point to go for. Going to probably put in all 4, I imagine. I think you could probably get away with 3 here, but 4 was pretty certain. So Ilban's up. What does Ilban want to do here? Is he just going to continue down this Wealth Mentat route here? Could definitely see that happening here. I could definitely see him go Wealth Mentat very, very easily. Especially considering as he did not use his Seek Allies last round. Falseface is also sitting there as well. Might look to cut it off. And looks like he's going to start operating to do so. It's fair. I don't hate the move. I think it's fine. So Tesia obviously will start shipping. No shocks here. So Romba Vernius will be conspiring again to get hold of their Swordmaster next round. Won't be any danger of that. Tesia's going to start jamming the Spacing Alliance. Not a huge surprise. I wouldn't have actually hated... oh, she's bumped down... Wow, she bumped down from the Fremen instead of the Bene Gesserit? That's a bit of a surprise. I would have bumped down the Bene Gesserit to get the shipping access, and I actually would have taken my Fremen bump immediately, so I'm getting hold of some water back to threaten more Hardy Warriors next round. Would have preferred that. Romba opts for selective breeding, so he immediately just rips off convincing argument here. So he is going all in on artillery here. This is pretty bold. This is pretty damn bold. Just immediately sacks it off. Not even gets rid of like any. Wow, this is pretty full-blooded from Dinosaur here. Very high risk, high tariffless. This could very easily backfire. Players all know what's going on here, so they're going to be very conscious of this fact. Like, Romba has to make this work. If he does not make this work, it's pretty bad here. He's drawn his Signet Ring as well, and all of his council access, which is not ideal. He wants to... He's going after training drones. That is very much clearly the plan here. Training drones and detonation devices is Romba's intention. I don't know if I like going selective breeding there. Surely, just Conspire Swordmaster and working out from there has gotta be the... I don't know, just... This feels unnecessarily dangerous. Definitely non-standard, this, going selective so early, and ripping off convincing for it, too. Ilban's going to pick up a cheap spice here. He'll feel fairly happy with it, all things considered. Can't really put in 2 troops here. Yeah, you've got to really ration your forces here. Ariana will be glad that you put in all 4 troops, to be fair. Especially after Romba just, like, ripping in the swords there. It's pretty wild. Anyways, so... what's happened here? Carthag from Ariana gave Bypass Protocol. It's a nice card for her, actually. Wow, Romba finds Gunfopter. Oh, my God. So, Romba is just going to go for training drones and detonation here. That is clearly the plan. Just going to just brute force this. Ariana with 4 will take this victory point at least. Looking at Interstellar Conspiracy... I don't know. I think I prefer Fremen Camp. Opulence. A couple of decent cards there. Charmed Delegate turns up in the row. Ilban's going to grab that for sure. They've got 4 Persuasion. Interesting to see what they do here. They might even go for, like... we'll see here. Oh, no. Ariana decides to get in front here. Guild Admin. Now that's an interesting... That's an interesting pick there. And just rips it. Wow, just defensively gets rid of Chome Delegate there. Well, Ilban won't be too unhappy. Freighter Fleet and Dissecting Kit turn up here in the row. Chome Directorship is huge. There's a couple of atomics left. I don't know if Ilban will go for both. I think he's considering it. I don't hate taking it. You're going to be looking to draw a lot of cards, so I don't hate going for Freighter Fleet here. You got to be careful. This could backfire a little bit. So, nothing to be resolved here. Ariana will take the point. Romba will take the water and spice. And we'll move on here. Dinosaur's back up to 4 spice here, so he might have... does he have access to Conspire anyways here? Or is he gambling for it? He doesn't have Fine Faction access. Next up is the Mentat conflict here. So here we go then. So it is rocking and rolling here. Training Jones is noted. There's the Dreadnought. Romba uses a tech negotiator from his ring to reduce the cost of the Dreadnoughts here. So again, the plan's obviously coming here. We know where this is going. This is going to start causing some problems here for players. See how they're going to start responding. Romba just giving up their action economy. Look, maybe a little bit fortunate that it's sort through the chaos. It's a pretty good conflict for all things considered. They're likely to take it down. Holojets is the next tech up there. So Ariana, I think, is going to reset station and does. She sees show direction and thinks, I've got to get a piece of that. Oh my God, she actually has 8 persuasion. Wow, she's actually got 8 persuasion there. That's huge. Well, well, well. Curious to see what she's going to do here. She does get a card draw off of the Infiltrate, and I believe all of her cards give persuasion. She might, like, graft it to a dagger or something. She should be good for Choa, but the problem is you're risking someone ripping the row. Would Ilban or Tesia rip the row? I don't know. Tesia's got 7 persuasion, by the way. Ilban has Seek Allies. Surely he just goes Fold Space. I think, given you taking that first Fold Space bump, I think you just got to go Fold Space. Oh! Bumps up. Guess he figures he's going to protect Freighter Fleet here. Interesting. A little bit risky, that. I guess you're assuming Tessie is not going to block fold space. I think she does actually legit just hard hit fold space here, though, because it gets her to Swordmaster. Yeah, I didn't like that. I think Ilban... I get why he took the smuggling bump, but I think fold space was the stronger move for him. Because it's such an obvious place for Tessie to go if she can get there. So I think that's a miss there for Mysterium. So Tessie's going to be first to Swordmaster. This is such a bizarre game. Romba, of course, is going to be just jamming in as much spice as possible. This is all going in. With his Dreadnought. So he's got 5 swords coming behind him. Romba does need some victory points to come with the conflict, though. Like, if it's all resource heavy, he might be struggling. What I'm curious to see is anyone going to block Romba Vernius taking detonation devices? I think there's a legitimate suggestion that I think someone should consider taking detonation devices away from Romba Vernius. I don't know if it's going to happen. Ariana does just straight reveal for Cho'am. Figures it's too strong to risk, which she's probably right, so bumps everywhere. It's a good time to get the card. The money generation is actually not the worst here. But that is a question I think that I think should be considered. Does Ilban, like, at every point consider, like, just going tech negotiation and taking... Because if detonation devices lost to Romba Vernius, that's a huge problem. Dinosaur is very reliant on getting at least a couple of points from detonation devices, it feels like here. I think it should be considered. Mentat for Ilban here. Interesting, decided not to use Benny Talaxa research with it, which I think I would have considered doing. What was their Diplo? They didn't want to see that. But it's one of those cases where I don't think anyone is going to take detonation, because everyone's going to like think, oh, we don't want him getting detonation, but we're going to hope someone else takes it, and then no one ever does. So, intrigue for Tessia Vernius. Going for the Benny bump, which is interesting, means that one of her later bumps is going to be with the Fremen, which is notable for Ariana. Oh, man, quid pro quo. It's pretty damn nice. She's got these fold space cards. She could make some huge value out of that later on. So 5 swords for Romba. But I think this is a big point. Like, if Romba Vernius was to lose detonation devices, I think that would be a pretty... Yeah, look at all these swords. I legitimately think at this point, someone's got to take detonation away. If he gets detonation devices, there's a car crash waiting to happen here. Decides not to play Seek Allies. Gonna hold on to it. Interesting. I expect we'll just see Steel Suits limping the troop. That'd be my move here. Steel Suits limp the troop in. Look at Great Flat. It's building up huge. It's gotta be Steel Suits for me here. Every day. Every day. And I'd probably bump up on the... Talaxu, I'd rather get the trash here. But Ilban thinks I gotta get my 2 spice. Finds peddler unions for more water. So that's going to be interesting to see. Is anyone going to be willing to take it away here? Tessie's just going to pop at Carthag, I imagine. See if she can find anything. Tiebreaker. It's not enough to take the conflict. I think I'd rather just keep the forces. Yeah, I agree here. Looks pretty good to me. So Ilban is going to get hold of his cash. Couple of persuasion. It's fairly cheap. A lot of cheap cards, actually. A lot of cheap cards here. Yeah, we're just... Obviously, he's saying he's just going to outpace... Try and outpace Romba for the Talaxu supplies, which I think is reasonable. Oh my god, Romba Vernius. When did he pick up Till the Victor, by the way? When did that happen? When did that happen? Oh, he got it off the Talaxu. Oh my god. So, here we go. I would even suggest, if Dinosaur gets detonation devices, he might be favourite. I think it's that pressing an issue here. He's going that heavy into just bossing conflicts. I don't know. We'll see how it plays. Anyways, Tesia rips it at 4, finds Guild Ambassador, which is pretty insane, and would be, I think, pretty much my take every day here. I don't see how you can turn Guild Ambassador down. Nothing will be played, so combat's resolved as is. Rob obviously has to put his Dreadnought somewhere. Picks up Glimpse. So Highlander's coming, by the way. Ariana finds Demand Respect, which is nice, I guess. But yeah, 100% a Highlander's coming here. Carfag it is. Carfag it is. If Rhombovernius gets the detonation devices, this looks like it does look like a complete car wreck is incoming here. What is going to happen? But the problem is, I have a funny feeling that Ilban's just going to smuggle. He's going to take a full space bump, and then Tezzy's going to feel forced to go instead of shipping, and Romba just daggers to tech negotiation. He's laughing. Well, Ariana does it herself. So, I think Romba's getting it. And this is going to be interesting to see how this is going to play out here. Because surely Ilban just smuggles now. And gets his Swordmaster. There's no way he doesn't do it. There's no Mentat. What are you doing? That was taken in the last conflict. Mysterium putting out his foot. He just feels he's just got a Mentat every single time he physically can here. I mean, now you're in this spot, you might as well just smuggle and just get your Swordmaster going. Like, might as well. Why not? Why not? Oh, I see what might be happening. He's got his freighter fleet. No. Just ship it anyways. And the next round, you just insert a ship and then you cash in and you're good. It's got to be the move for me. Like, smuggle down. He's looking at techs. Is Ilban considering keeping away detonation here? It would be such a sick move if he did. It would be not necessarily good for him. Oh my god. Wow, okay, so goes holo projectors so he can get freighter fleet unloaded. Okay, I also don't hate that move. This also gives him some money so he can get hold of his Swordmaster anyways. So I guess this is also fine. Means Rhombovernius cannot go tech negotiation. Rhombovernius now will have to get hold of some money and buy it via Dreadnoughts, which I don't think he cares about. Worth noting, by the way, Gunflopter does not let you launch Dreadnoughts into the conflict. Only troops. It's worth noting. Yeah, this is also fine. Do it this way. So Rhomba, I suspect, will just go Wealth. I suspect Rhombovernius to go Wealth Dreadnought detonation devices. That is what I would expect him to do here. Says he obviously will ship, no surprise, but that would be my expected move. Oh no, the money from shipping's actually given it to Ilban anyway, so, or to Romba anyway. So yeah, so I just he's got to go. Yeah, he's going detonation Dreadnought. This is obvious. So the players had an opportunity, had plenty of opportunities to stop him getting detonation devices, and now you've allowed this. So this is now on the table to do something about here, but I think this is going to be a car wreck. I'm curious to see how this is going to play out here. Spy Satellites is up next, by the way. But, well, this is a situation of the table's own making. And I don't really know what they're going to do about it. I don't know if they're going to do anything about it. It should be most interesting. So, smuggling for Ariana. Ilban is gonna Swordmaster. He'd have to use Dissecting Kit to do it. Depends what he wants to trash. He's also trying to work out what his last card is. It's his Fold Space card. I can look because he's looking. He's trying to work out what it is. I think dissecting with... He wants to use experimentation really badly. Especially if he susses that it is his... It's his... He doesn't have to trash with dissecting kit. But I think he wants to get rid of the cards out of his hand, so he'll have to just pass experimentation this time and get rid of his recon, which I think is fine. What does he value? Does he value the trash more, or does he value experimentation? It feels too early to trash experimentation. So I think I would rather just trash recon and just take the specimen cube here. I think that's fine. Because he can still get hold of the Talaxu Spice here anyways, so I don't think he's in any danger. I suspect Tesia Vernius to go Steel Suits here. She needs water. She's got garrison troops. No? That's a surprise. That's a real surprise. Finds Dispatch, by the way. Tesia's starting to go advancing here. So it's gonna make a bit of a stand. I don't know how you don't go Steel Suits there, because it's an obvious place for him to go. Oh my god, and Tesia just finds Guild Authorization. Well, there you go. That's pretty good. I do get the feeling if anyone's is gonna help pace Romba here, it could well be Tesia. But I don't know, this is gonna be interesting. How much does Tesia Vernius want to commit to this fight? Is she willing to go, like, super heavy into this? I don't know. Picks up there. She's got both daggers. She's got Tiebreaker. Romba surely... Oh, he's going to go water here. Hardy Warriors is coming then. He's just gonna garrison some dudes, I think. Looking for more swords as well. Doesn't find them. So, Imperial Basin will be. This is just going to be belligerence and dinosaur here. But this is so single-minded. There are some potential problems here, is my only thing. If Romba Vernius gets Spy Satellites, by the way, as well, this game could be over. I only want to point out, Spy Satellites is up there. If Spy Satellites goes, this game is over. Romba ditches enough. Both his convincings are gone. So he's just going to look to I don't know. I mean, I think Romba's plan makes sense, but I still can't believe they let him have detonation device. I think that should have been stopped by someone. Someone just had to bite the bullet there for the sake of the table. But Prisoner's Dilemma. Ariana before, eyeing up the Spice Trade. I think it's a good card for her. Space Travel's also okay. Imperial Spy's fine. Go Space Travel in the end, which is interesting. I think I would have preferred Spice Trader to that. She's got loads of Highline access, but no resources to go with it. Ilban with an action. I think if I'm Ilban, I'm just going Great Flat and taking Spice. Because next round you want to go shipping, and I think you're at risk of losing the Spice at Great Flat here. I would play Fold Space and not draw. Fold Space is a card you do not have to draw. You can opt to trash the card before the draw so the draw effect fizzles out. He wants free Persuasion for Shifting Allegiances. Oh my gosh. Wow, that's so greedy. Oh. He gets the 5. He might rip the Rove looking for TM or something. Wow. I think Mysterium is at risk of going too single-minded on Mentat as well. Wow, that Great Flat Spice is just sitting there. Tesia Vernius has got to go Steel Suits. Has got to go Steel Suits. Now, the next question is, are you willing to put in the rest of these troops, or you just give this up? You should, I mean, you know you can't, in theory, win. Draws the other fold, so it's a bit unlucky. Do you charge the price? She does charge the price. You know what? Fair play, Tesia. Fair play. Tesia's going to make Romba have to pay for it. Highliner is obviously coming. I can only assume Ilban is giving up shipping next round. Romba just, obviously, he's just going to barrel in here. But fair play for Tesia Vernius for opting to actually pay the price here. If Tesia Vernius had, like, Stage Instant, by the way, it'd be huge here right now. Ilban gets hold of the Talaxu Spice and the point. If you're going to go for shifting allegiances, oh my god, he finds it in the shadows. What? What? That's disgusting. It's completely ridiculous. Tessia can't win, unfortunately. But it's fine. She's paid a price here, which, you know, she just... I figures someone's got to do it to Dinosaur, and I think that's reasonable. So, possible swords, obviously. Romba's had to pay a lot for this. What the hell? Wow. Good God. It's 20 strength. Tessia's not playing anything, obviously. Wow. That is so just... It's a belligerence. It's pretty impressive. Tessia's got to work out here. She might play Tiebreaker just to recycle and not be at risk of secret stealing, which she does opt to do. Which I think is totally fine. So Romba scores his first couple of points here. First detonation. More are coming. Oh, Emperor bump for Tessia. She's finding some good intrigue, by the way. Imperial Basin does not get the troop. The Dreadnought should have been moved first. But it is more victory points. It's more flag control. It's exactly what Romba wants to see here. It's a perfect conflict for him. Ilban has to go Great Flat. Ilban has to go Great Flat. There's no ifs or buts here. If you give Romba Vernius Great Flat here, this game is as good as over, I think. That seems so completely absurd. I know you want to shit, but, like... What is about to happen here? Well, thank goodness for that. That would have been beyond ridiculous. I think Ilban's eyeing up Highliner here. I think Count Ilban is very seriously eyeing up Highliner here. He's going to have action economy on Romba as well, so he's going to be able to kind of... And Romba has no intrigues currently. Remember, Romba has no action economy. He has no intrigues behind him. So Romba is in need of a little bit of help here in that respect. Like, the problem is he's going obviously heavily belligerent, but the problem is he's playing kind of face up. So if he gets into heavy action economy issues like Ilban might do, he can just, like, work out exactly what he needs to beat you and beat you. And the table knows they have to. Tessia obviously ships. Does she go for spy satellites here? I don't think she will, but I think she should consider it. Just even as a hard trash. And again, just keeping this away from Romba. She's going to shift away with the Signet Ring. Oh, she's going to be careful here. She's in danger of, like, she's playing around with the Spacing Alliance. But she's a little bit of danger here of losing it. So she's got to be a little bit careful. So this gives her another bump at the spacing at the Fremen here. Is she going to try and get in front of Ariana here? I think she is going to, but she needs to make sure she gets... The only problem with this is if she does this, she has to make sure she gets her bump back. This is majorly greedy. Yeah, I don't think you should do it. I think you've got to go spacing. Spacing... You're basically... If you do this, you are hoping you get Dispatch Envoy to fold space. With a convincing. Oh my god. This is very greedy. Very, very greedy. All of the greed here. I think it's a bit much, by the way, but hey-ho. So Ron Ravonius has currently got 8 sword strength in hand. Signet Ring he can grab. I imagine he might go Haga Basin, Sonic Snoopers. No, Research Station. Interesting. So he's just trying to draw as many swords as possible, find some more. And that's what he's going to do. He's just going to look to basically just win conflicts with just a million swords. So he's currently got 11 swords of strength. So he's at effectively 17 strength right now. So absurd, this. Ariana goes for High Council. Sacks off her Swordmaster. Finds Chome Directorship. That is not what she was looking for. It's the one card she didn't. She's just going for Spice Must Flow here. And she's found Chome. It's the last thing she wanted to see here. It's a disaster. Ilban's got a Mentat here. I think Ilban, for me, I think if I was honestly Ilban, you want to win this fight, I would Mentat, Conspire, Hard Highliner. There is a legitimate route here to outpower Rhombovernius. And the money's good for you as well at Conspire. You need to get that point. That would be a legitimate consideration of a route here for Ilban. Conspire with Imperial Spy, and then Seek Allies Highliner. Itasia does find a way back to fold space, so gets away with the greed there. Romba's got to go Steel Suits, surely. You'd imagine. Might go Wealth as well. Yeah, it just goes Wealth again, trying to fund more more Dreadnoughts. Yeah, makes sense. So, Ilban can win this. It's a big commitment, but it's worth it for a point. And it stops Romba detonating. I think he's going to have to strongly consider doing this. Conspire Highliner. It's kind of... It seems wild on round 5, but this is the way this game's gone. Like, they've let Romba get all of this. So now it's their own problem. Ariana flukes. She very clever. So she goes Imperial Basin with Guild Admin to get a draw. She trashed out Directorship. So she doesn't fluke it, I should say. That's not correct. But she does get a little fortunate in finding her way to Spice Must Flow. It was not guaranteed. So this is what it is. I still think Ilban going Conspire is solid anyways. 2 intrigues. Get some troops garrisoned. You want money for High Council and Mentat. I think it's totally fine to go Conspire here. Gets your Emperor point done. For me, I think that's the move. I think I would legit Conspire here. See what Romba's reveal is, and then just keep your options open. I think that's what you got to do here. You've got to give yourself options here. Rhombovernius has no intrigues. You can see him face up, and you can work out the exact maths here. And then you can eye up Highliner and decide, is it worth it? So that's what I do as Ilban. Imperial Spy Conspire. Use Benny Talax Researcher if you want. You're going to use it either this action or next action. Probably save it for next action, honestly. And see what Romba's reveal is. If he's only got about 8 swords, Highline. If he's got like 15, then obviously you don't need to worry about it. This is what you've got to do in these weird situations. You've got to you've got to work these out here. Oh no. No. No, Conspire first. You can get the troops in with Conspiring. Oh, no! Romba, so Ilban decides to go for it, but it's the wrong way round. It's the wrong way round. Now what's he intending to do here, though? Rhombovernius is he's got, what, 11 swords? Ilban needs to find 4 strength. I guess he's gonna go Highliner. Not Highliner, he's gonna go Hardy Warriors here. But Ilban has decided to put his foot down. Conspire, I think, was better. But I guess this is also okay. You've still got Hardy Warriors. I would have preferred the other way around, though. Just get the extra intrigue in hand. Oh, no. Vernius, don't do it. Oh, my God. I thought she was going to go Hardy Warriors for a second. Finds War Chest. It's a great card for her, actually. It's a real good card for her. That's probably a point. Vernius is scoring pretty well here. Quid pro quo is played to get these bumps, which makes sense. I think you have, yeah, this makes total sense here. Pays the spice, defend the alliance, and whatever else makes logical sense here. Double cross. So Vernius is very much hoping that yellow does not win this conflict. Very much hoping yellow doesn't win this conflict. Yeah, she's gone heavy. But, you know, she got early shipping access. She's found some faction bumps as well. Like, Vernius is also running pretty decently here. So Ilban needs 4 strength. Hardy Warriors will do the job here. But then what's going to happen? All this carnage on the map here, Tessie is making very strong use out of. So here we go. Ilban can win. Harley Warriors is the only way to do it. Ariana buys Spice. I don't know about that. Like, he revealed a long time ago. I don't know. I think I would have been tempted to say no here, but Romba's obviously just going all in on conflict here. But I don't know. It feels starting to get to the point of recklessness. Again, if one person makes a stand against you in a big fight like this, you're in real trouble, and that's exactly what happens here. So Ilban gets it in, and this is the problem with Romba: no action economy, and especially no intrigues. It's the no intrigues that's really hurting here. If you've got any intrigue, it makes it so much harder to play against you. But when Romba is face up, Ilban can just action economy you to death. That's exactly what's happening here. Tesia finds the point at her finding like the guild point as well was absurd here. So Tesia Vernius is taking full advantage of the situation here. Imperial Spy with intentions of combining it with favoured subject. She's just got to find a couple of points here, and she's probably in the good. So, Ilban had to pay heavily for the point, but he did get the point. And this is a problem for Romba Vernius here. Remember, you can only detonate one Dreadnought at a time. So Tesia just thinks she's just got to score a point elsewhere, but it's getting harder for her to score them. So the longer this game goes on, it might be the better it is for Romba. We'll see here anyway. So Romba gets hold of the water. Ilban gets the point. Paid for it, but he got it. And onwards we march. Round 6. Guild Bank Raid. Both good and bad for Romba. Combat like this is good in that he's probably likely to get less resistance on the Dreadnought, but the thing is, when you've got so many swords, I don't think it matters. He wants to see victory point conflicts, and, well, it's not there. I bet Ariana is so happy she got that skirmish point, by the way. Tesia ships. No surprise. Finds Guild Ambassador again. Oh my god. Oh no! Oh, Tesia's got a... Oh my god! Tesia can end the game here. Tesia can end the game. So, she needs 3 points, right? If she gets Spice for Guild Ambassador, if she finds one more Spice, she can pay that point. Talaxu with Research Station would also do the trick, and then she... Oh, but she kind of greeted it to be protecting the Spacing Alliance. I know why she did that. Oh, she had to go for it. Tesia going to end it round 6. If she had taken the Emperor bump there, favoured subject would have been 8 points. One more research at Research Station gets her to 9 points. And if she picks up the Spice Imperial Basin, it was 10. It could have been over. But it's been given up. Is there another way for her to get hold of that Spice? I don't think there is. Unless she flukes an intrigue or something. Ariana will ship as well. Romba picks up spy satellites now as well. How have they let Romba get so many techs? This is ridiculous. An absurd game, this. Ilban's got in the shadows. What does he want to do here? I don't hate going smuggling, setting up freighter fleet to be unloaded here. Doesn't really matter if you unload in the shadows. It's not giving you any immediate benefit, whereas unloading freighter fleet can give you some immediate benefit. No council access of any significance. I think he's just going to go smuggling here a lot of the time. Oh, draws is over convincing. That is not what he wanted to see. That's a terrible draw for him. It's a really bad draw for him, that. He needed actions. He's not got any. He's in trouble here, is Ilban. Oh, that's really... Yeah, that's an unlucky draw of convincing. That's just the... It's the only card he didn't want to see, basically, was convincing argument. Anything else he was happy with. And I don't think Urban's going to get all three actions off here. Because he can't... He doesn't really want to use In the Shadows. He wants to reveal it. And he probably has to reveal it. He might have to just bite the bullet and use In the Shadows to Mentat here. He doesn't want to do it at all. But he might figure maybe I can just trash it with selective breeding and get away with it. Which is very possible, actually. If he can find access to selective breeding, he can actually trash In the Shadows hard way. If he really wants to. Yeah, didn't want to do it. Is what it is. Fine shifting. The Romba's just gearing up his spy satellites. I can't believe they've let Romba get these 4 tech. It's absolutely ridiculous. Blows my mind. So, Tessia Vernius. There was a route for round 6 victory here. And I don't think it's on anymore. She had to greed it. But I guess it's when Urban's got shifting leans, it's almost impossible. And they have to, in theory, try and stop you. So I don't hate the defense, but I just don't... The problem is you've also got problems that the Fremen's under attack now. It's very difficult here for Tessia Vernius. Very tough spot. You feel like you're probably obligated to defend the Fremen Alliance, right? With your Diplo. That's the only problem. When you take all 3 alliances, you put yourself as a huge target. This is exactly what Romba wants here. I can't believe Romba got spy satellites. That is so incredibly insane. How did they let this happen? So what does Tessia do here? This is a tricky spot now she finds herself in. She wants to get to wealth. She's scared she might lose it. Urban does have an Imperial Spy somewhere in his deck. And he does want to get that off. I don't think there's any way for Tessia Vernius to get hold... She has to go for Still Suits or Hardy Warriors here and defend her alliance. Like, I think it's mandatory. I don't know which way around you go. Opts for the water. Does she want the cash? I think she wants some cash. Remember, she's got War Chest in hand. She has Double Cross she wants to use as well. Opts not to worry about it right now. Yep, just more Dreadnoughts. Now, the only problem for Romba Vernius here is that he's only going to be able to have 10 strength maximum here. So Romba Vernius is hoping to get this very cheap. I think Tessia should probably have put in some troops there. I know why she didn't, but I feel like she probably had to put in some troops with the Still Suits there and make that deployment. So Intense Conspiracy is going to be used here. Bear in mind, this does graft with the Spacing Guild. Does give a random bump here to Ariana. She was going to use that to try to take the Alliance, but it's been protected. There's not much she can really do with this here. She has Demand Respect, and she has Reinforcements. Does Ariana go Carfag, put these troops in, take the bump with the Fremen anyways, and look to win the fight with Demand Respect and take the Alliance? Or maybe she... Oh... She draws... She feels she's got to get the Spicemas Flows. She's at 9. I think Ariana, this is actually not a bad combat to look to use Reinforcements on. And use Demand Respect here. Because Brombo is just going to throw everything at the next one. I think you have to put troops in here. I think if there's ever a combat you're going to win, it's now. Harvest Cells is also found, which is encouraging putting troops in here. Oh, he doesn't. Oh, he doesn't. How does he not do it? Oh, my God. He's still not got any Swordmaster. It's still up there. What a crazy match this is. Ilbon's got 9 persuasion. I don't think he's going to be able to buy Spice Must Flow here, though. What's he going to do here? Just going to cash in his smuggling. It seems reasonable. He's got a couple actions behind. And again, Ilban might determine that he goes ahead of Romba here. Because he would like the money for his own High Council seat, which he does need as well, to be fair. Romba Vernius is dancing here on the precipice. It's an incredibly crazy strategy he's gone for here. Very high risk. I think Mysterium feels that someone's got to police Romba, and it feels that it might have to be him. Trying to work out what Tezi's going to do here. He's got his shifting allegiances. I would not hate taking an Emperor bump here, although you've got Imperial Spy, so maybe you're looking at maybe like Wealth/Conspire Imperial Basin with shifting and get hold of the Emperor Alliance. I don't hate it. He's not taking his bump yet. I think that's the way I would go here. I think I would honestly take the Emperor bump and then look to... or you go Bene Gesserit, assuming that you're then going to path to Emperor. But you've got to make sure if you do this that you've got to get access to Imperial Basin. You've got 1 action remaining from Tezi, and that's it. Is Tezi Vernius ever going Imperial Basin? I don't think it's that likely. Ooh, wow, okay. Well, interesting. I cannot believe that's been allowed. But it's up to the table to decide. They're their own police. I think I probably would have said no, especially in Green Spot. I would have said absolutely not. It's the only place I was ever going was there. But I guess Ilban has yet to take... Has Ilban drawn anything yet? I guess he hasn't. Well, Ilban's going to go Emperor then now. I think that's almost for certain here. I don't know. I still think I like going Bene Gesserit bump here and then shifting it, but who knows. So Tezia's got an interesting choice here. She might go Imperial Basin anyways to feel she's got to get her Guild Administrator point, but I think that's probably not a bad idea. I think at this situation now, I guess you've just got to take the spice. Guild Admin point is permanent, and you're only ever going to get to score this now. The problem is, if you've got to think about this, if you don't score your Emperor point now, how are you going to score it? If you don't think you can score your Emperor point now, or later on, you might as well just go Emperor now and save the spice. You can only score one of these. There's no way to score both the Emperor and Guild Ambassador right now. There's no way that I can see. So, gotta make a decision here. I wonder if she's also considering double-crossing Romba if he puts a troop in with Gunfopter when he does. I think Tezia Vernius might legit do it. I think she's going to go mining here. And she's going to bank that she's able to pick up the Emperor point later on. Oh my god. I don't think you can shift with your ring here. Oh, that's so... Oh my god, is she going to use favored subject and go in? She is! Ha! I guess that also works. Wow. That's pretty sick. That is pretty sick here. That's all of them used. Well, the problem is she's still stuck at 7. This doesn't help her get to 10. She can still only get to 9. She can only score 2 points here. Oh my god. Wow, that is pretty savage. That's pretty savage. And I think Double Cross might be coming here. Romba Vernius is gonna have to put a troop in. He's going to be at 10 strength. Well, well, well. What is about to happen here? This is a huge moment in this match right now. Does someone take a stand and deny Romba the point here? Ariana decided not to, and I don't think she will. Not with reinforcements. She's hoping to go all in next round, which is pretty brave. I don't know if that's actually going to work. But we'll see. Ilban has 2 actions. He's surely going to get in front of the Emperor Alliance now. Oh! High Councils! Two, 4, 6, 7, 8. He's at 10 persuasion. So, Romba Vernius, I think, is going to get his point. The only way it doesn't work is if Tesia Vernius was to double cross and war chest against Romba here. But I don't see how she ever finds it in herself to do it. But Romba's sitting there with 3 endgame points. This is so crazy. If Tesia Vernius had just put in troops on steel suits, she could just double-cross Romba and not have to worry about it. So now she kind of can't. Man, this is going to be some round 3 fight, this. What is going to happen? What is going to happen here? I'm not sure I've ever commentated a game like this. I don't know how many matches I have covered over the course of my time with this channel. It's in the 3 figures. Like, I'm pretty sure it's in the hundreds at this point. I'm not sure I've ever covered a game quite like this. So Ilban's got a choice here. I think he's just going to go Wealth and just protect his alliance. He can't... He has 9 persuasions, so he's just going to go Wealth and just protect it, get the intrigue, and call it a day here. I don't think he'll conspire at this point. No. So, it's make or break here. Round 7. Oh, he finds dispensation. Oh my god, he's got Diplo coming. He's going highliner. Ah! Oh my god. This is like one of the most make or break round 7 conflicts that we're going to see in this competition. This is going to be carnage. Absolute carnage. Romba Vernius is preying on just brute force here, but I really do think Romba might get action economy to death here. Does he open it with like a Mentat or something? I don't know. We'll see. Dinosaur absolutely has to win this fight. If Dinosaur does not win this conflict, it's over. It's Arrakis. It's neutral. You might hear some fireworks out there. Again, it is New Year's Day, so that's going to happen a little bit. But Arrakis is neutral. No forces here. Romba Vernius... Oh my god, what a hand. Wedding Way, Gunfoctor, Dagger, and double Sardaukar. Wow, what an insane hand. He's going to have to use some of these. He has to get the Dreadnought in. I suspect we'll see Weirding Way to Arrakis would be my initial guess. Just to draw a card and just pump the combat as full as he can. He might also consider using the Gunfoctor to take troops away from his opposition. Which I don't entirely hate. But it'll be Arrakis. I imagine... Oh, he's going to research station instead. Okay, that also works. So just reliant on swords. Which there isn't any. So he's currently got 4, 6, 9, 12 swords. So he's at effectively 18 strength. That's now 20, but he's getting double crossed for sure. One of these troops is going for sure. Like, surely. Is Romba Vernius going selective breeding? He has winning way. He's allowed to take his second action immediately, but he's going to be completely face up if he does. Does he go Mentat just to cause issues to Ilban? It's 2 swords he's giving up, though. He might just go Slit to Breeding and just shut his eyes. But the problem is that you're completely face up. It's exactly what he goes for here. But I don't think this is going to work. I think there's going to be a collective prevention of him winning this fight here, surely. He's hoping to find his another Thopter. He's looking for swords. No. No! Rhomba misses his sword draw. And Rhomba Vernius is in real trouble. There goes the Fremen Alliance from Tesia. It's gone. She did her best to defend it. But there was only so much she could do. So she's down a point. Ilban Mentat. He has Highliner in his back pocket whenever he wants it. Tesia Vernius is surely just going to go secrets here. Yeah, makes sense. Pick up a couple of intrigues. Ooh, finds a Talaxu point. It's pretty nice. Oh, she's got to spend something. I don't think she'll want to sit around with 4 intrigues here. She feels she's got to defend. Do you just double-cross Rhomba now? Probably not. Do you just play illicit dealings now? You don't really want to. And just double-crosses Rhomba immediately. It has to be Rhomba. There's no debate about it. I think Dinosaurs Tournament is over here. It has to be Rhomba Vernius that gets taken away here. Yeah, no doubt about that. And I think Dinosaur's comp is over here. He's not going to hold. There's just no way. He's at 18 strength. But surely that's not going to be enough here. Someone's going to get over the top of this. Ariana's just having to live with, how's she getting there? What? Hold on, how you get into tech negotiation? Yeah, you can't do that. Oops. Yeah. Just noticed, I was like, that doesn't seem right. It's a terrible hand she's got, by the way. The intrigue needs to go back. It needs to be face up as well. It was blackmail. So we'll shuffle that back in. It's cool. But yeah, like, if ever that happens, always table the intrigue face up so everyone knows what that intrigue would have been. Because in theory, you could just do that all the time and get information. Alright, no, this intrigue's not in play. This intrigue's not in play. Should always be tabled face up. Ariana, to be fair, has an absolutely miserable hand. I think Artemesia's game is kind of over. I don't see any point in trashing the Spice Plus 4 at this point. You must just reveal it for the spice. Truthfully. But it looks pretty bad for Artemesia here. I don't think he's going to be winning this. I think he knows he's not going to be winning this. It's a shot between the other 3 here. And it looks like it's probably between the Ilban and Tesia. This has been a crazy match. Absolutely absurd game, this. Fascinating to watch. So, Ilban with 3 actions. Again, Spice must flow when his Highliners whenever he wants it. Can he find a way to get the Talaxu point? The problem is the combat's only worth 2. How does he find a 10th point and end this game? He needs to end this game this round, you'd feel. And I don't know how he does it. He could research twice in theory and get hold of a 5th point with Talaxu. Or 5th bump. Dissecting can be revealed for the 6th. But he doesn't have the money for the 7th. Unless there's one way he can do it. Oh no, that also doesn't work. He needs water. And research station's blocked. Ariana has Infiltrator. Wow, this is tough for Ilban. He has to find a 10th point somewhere. Either with the Bene Gesserit friendship or something. He has High Council. Can he Spice Must Flow it? 2, 3, 4, 5. He's officially got 7 Persuasion at this moment. Obviously, he gets to the end of the track. Benny Tax are worth +1, but he probably has to use Research to get there. Highlines now. Figures, I've just got to... I need to get this done. I need the water. I think he's eyeing up, like, Great Flat or something here. Well, there's one bump. There is one bump. Can he find a second? Can Ilban find a second bump with the Bene Gesserit? He might have to, like, punt it at Sonic Snoopers or something. He's still got to win this combat, though. He needs more troops. Tessie Vernius is going up here. She can use... She's looking at replacement eyes. If you use it to trash itself, you get a beetle bump, which isn't that useful for her right now. Because she's got illicit dealings, so... It's kind of a weird spot, this. Needs to graph it with something. I think she will use experimentation here. Carfag, yep, makes sense to me. Oh, stage instant is found. No, we talked about this earlier on. This game is over. Tessie is getting to 10 points. There's nothing that can be stopped now. This is final round. This is absolutely final round now. Oh, wow. Oh, no! She found economic positioning as well! Oh, my God. She's both money intrigue. This game's over. Tessie Vernius just wins. She's at 12 points minimum here. Absolutely disgusting intrigue. Tessie Vernius has drawn very well intrigues this game. No doubt about that. No doubt about that. Ariana's going to reinforcements because she might as well. Ariana will get hold of her Talaxu point minimum here, so she will score at least one more point. It has not been Artemesia's day today. Ariana in 4th was... That was a pick. That was a pick here. Ilban's in trouble here. This could well be Mysterium's final actions of this competition. He has to win the fight. How on earth does he find a point, though? How does he get to 10? Remember, reminder, the lowest scoring 5th place currently, Yasmat. 10 victory points, 6 spice. How on earth does Ilban reach that mark? Unless he gets lucky with, like, his intrigue draw at the Talaxo and finds, like, the other beetle bump, or he finds the endgame beetle bump. Or maybe he, like, goes for some spice and finds Water of Life. There are some options. He could maybe even somehow fluke his way to a Spice Must Flow. He's looking at the intrigues. It's exactly what he's thinking here. He's trying to think, what intrigues can I get out of there? There's another illicit dealings. The endgame Talaxu bump is out there as well. There are routes to 10. But he needs 10 and then some to have any chance of getting through here. Has this been the wackiest game of this competition? I think so. I think so. I'm glad I watched it. I'm glad I've been able to cover this game, and I hope you guys have enjoyed this, but... What a weird game. I don't hate Dinosaur with the Romba plan. But it felt very, very high tariff. Even though he got access to everything he could have wanted here. So Ilbans is going to have to hope that he finds his way with why don't you go Imperial Basin, buddy? Yeah, it's still free spice. You save your water. Might as well. So, in those go. He's now ahead of Romba. Romba knows he's dead. Ilban's going to win this fight. That's not going to be stopped here. The only question is, can Mysterium find a 10th point? He needs some luck to get there. Quite simply. He needs some luck to get there. I would not trash the Spice Must Flow card if you're going to trash anything. People love trashing the Spice Flows. Keep hold of them. It denies people calling the market, you know? Keep hold of them here. So many people do that. Like, if it's going to probably be last round, or you're not going to see it again, just you know, keep it. It means if someone else got call the market, they get less value out of it, you know? Tesia Snoopers. Tesia Snoopers? I don't know why. But whatever. Just trying to gamble and find anything she can here. I mean, she doesn't really need to. That is meant to be face down, because that goes at the bottom of the deck. Finds ambush. It doesn't really matter. If she was to get secret stolen now, that would be hilarious, by the way. I mean, she won't. Ambush is not doing anything for her. I mean, there are entries she could have found. Like, if she finds plans and plans, like, it's already pretty sealed up here at 12. I guess the only way at this point you could potentially score any more points is Sonic Super, so I don't hate it. But if someone's got Infiltrate and you lose it, it feels pretty bad. So Ilban is going to get an intrigue. I think the only move for Ilban is reveal. And hope. There's nothing else you can do here. You need the sword. You need the bump. You're just hoping you'll get lucky at the Talaxu. It's as simple as that. There's nothing else to do here. You're just going to hope you find an intrigue that's of use to you here. Demand Respect would be great for you here, by the way. We know that Ariana has Demand Respect, but Demand Respect also is good for Ilban for a 10th point. That gives him his Bene Gesserit friendship. So he's just got to hope he gets lucky here. Can he find an intrigue that gets him a 10th point? He doesn't. He does not. It's no good. Which means this one's over. This one is over. Pooky's going through to the quarterfinals here. And everyone else is going to be eliminated. Tesia's just like, I don't know, trying to find anything she can. I mean, sure, whatever. It's not particularly relevant. That's for the after the combat's resolved. Keep hold of it. Here comes Staged. Dinosaur did not want to see this. And that is game over. That is all she wrote. Pooky's through to the quarterfinals. At the end of one of the craziest matches I ever saw.
Oh, well, it was gone. The game was done. Never mind.
Yeah, game was over. What the hell? Wow. Wait. Red, would I have beaten you in the combat if I drew, like, any of my swords?
I did not have a way really to get in more. I could have maybe put Siege de Boar or Arrakis instead, and got one extra troop here or there. So, I think you win. Dagger, yeah. I think I win.
Dagger, but no. Also, what screwed me up was the fact that Green double crossed me.
Yeah.
Green double crossed me, and then I didn't drew any of my daggers on the selected rating play, and it was just over.
Yeah.
It's hard to offer. I mean, this game is like one of the wackiest I think I've ever covered in my life. This was a bizarre match. For a variety of reasons. For a variety of reasons. It was fun to watch, I'm not gonna lie. But yeah, a lot of
bizarre as in bizarre choices, or bizarre as in just what
bizarre
happened?
As in I don't know if I'll ever commentate a game quite like this ever again. that kind of bizarre. I mean, a lot of choices were made in this game. I don't know how optimum half of them were, but they were made. So
Arizona and Romba were chosen. So
I mean, I didn't hate the Romba thing. It was just complete full bloody minus. I mean, fair, Romba got every single tech they ever could have hoped. But unfortunately, just the problem is when you go for this strategy, and you don't have action economy, like you only get 2 actions to put dudes in. Like there's only so far swords can go, and yeah, ultimately, like you're reliant on finding the draws. So that's the way it goes.
No.
If you rely on card draw, like sometimes it goes bad.
Did you see that last card draw?
Yeah, I knew. Yeah, it was obviously not what you were looking for, but that's the way it goes. If you're reliant on a card draw, it sometimes you roll bad.
But it was such a terrible, because I trashed my recon thinking, I was like, okay, wait, there are 4 cards, 2 of them have swords on them. If I draw any 2 of them, like if I draw even one of them, I'm happy.
I suppose fair play for willing to go for such a belligerent style. I'm not gonna. It's pretty wild. And to be fair, like the problem is again, it's just action economy, and when you've got an Ilbarn who can just sit out and just see you playing face up, like it gets hard to win. Like, obviously, the Imperial Basin fight, like you committed a load of strength, but Ilbarn was in a position where they could sort of sit and wait to see what you have, and then work it out from there. And someone had to stop you winning fights, and the problem is once they do, what's your plan B? So that was kind of it. So it was a crazy match.
And the Tessia double crossing me too. I think that's really cross.
Yeah. I thought she was considering doing that the previous round, but she held off, and you were the only person she was ever going to double. She had that for a while. Actually.
But I was not expecting to double cross. I thought Tessia would double cross Blue, thinking that okay, maybe they get 3rd in the combat. But damn, she double crossed me. I was like, oh my lord, this is so bad because I only have 1 troop.
I think Blue realized that you were like the clear threat. And to be fair, you probably were. So I think Green made the right call there, and just had to double cross you and hope that someone else does the work. Then she found tons of end games. Like she found economic this round. She found stage this round as well.
This round? Oh my lord!
Found both. War chest she had for a while, but yeah, economic and stage she found this round.
Oh, that's actually wait. So she hadn't found stage.
She hadn't found stage. She found stage when she found stage when she went to Carfax.
That's actually insane. Oh my
It's just the point. It's just like, well, okay, this one's over.
They were saying on Intrigues for Song, like there's end games that she has, but I don't think we can do anything about it.
No, something you can do about those. I mean, Tessia ran very well with Intrigues this game. Like she found the guild bump. She found the Emperor bump. She found quid pro quo. She found dispatch. She ran very, very well with Intrigues, and just had to hope that like someone made a stand against Yellow, and that's exactly what happened. So,
I mean, I thought I was pretty clear in the game. I mean, obviously, I had no clue about Tessia. Like Tessia's like Intrigues, but the Intrigue luck on Tessia was insane. I was thinking
she ran well, but that's the way it goes sometimes.
There's only so much of a fight I could have put up against her, because I mean, me and her were playing different strategies. So.
Oh yeah, well, I mean, everyone kind of was. It was a bizarre match.
I think the only thing I really could have done for Tessia is started chasing up the Spacing Guild earlier, because she kept using it to just pop down, get more Solari.
The extra cash was useful. I mean, then she found one in good point, and then she found the second, obviously, which was also pretty absurd. So, but yeah, like, that was the thing. Like, it was an interesting game. A lot happened, and I'm sure it'll be a good watch. So. Yeah, cheers for that, I guess.
Yeah, the in the Shadows was not of any use to me in the end. And at one time I had her, and it's just like, I've got nothing I can play here.
Yeah, it was awkward, the spot where you want to mentat, you don't really want to use it. It's like, you're kind of down if you don't.
My other 2 actions were pretty terrible. It's just like, me using her gives me so much more options on my next actions. But,
yeah, exactly. I didn't hate using it. There was a couple of awkward draws. There was the one you made a draw and then found like your other convincing. I think it was like the round before that. There was a couple of tricky draws as well. So that's how it is. In any event, I hope you guys have enjoyed the comp at least.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Thanks, guys.
Definitely made some better choices, but I can't really see them right now. I'm just tired.
Yeah. I mean, I also made some like interesting choices. I mean, the not getting Swordmaster there was a little.
I mean, if you're gonna, the problem is if you do the strategy like that, and we've seen it for like Lanny obviously likes trying to do it with Rombo, and he used to. But the problem is when you have no sword master, especially in your third seat, round 7, it's so hard to win because you just don't have the action economy, and you just face up.
Yeah.
And especially you have no intrigues behind you as well, makes it. You know,
I
that's
was
the other issue.
I was hoping to go Mentat, thinking like, okay, if I go Mentat, I might get something. But
so here's confirmation of the results for that match, and indeed Pooky does find the way through to the quarterfinals. A match against Screwly Jr., Raymond C, and Jammy E.T. awaits them in the brackets. None of the other players will find their way through as a fastest loser, which means that Cherry J is going to make it as a fastest loser, and only Yai's Matter remains still, who will have to wait and hope that they make it through after the final game of the brackets. Don't really know there's too much more to add to this one, really. Yeah, just a pretty wild match. I've not played in many like this. I've certainly, again, never covered one quite like this, to this sort of level of extreme. But it made for a fun watch nonetheless. I imagine there will be some people watching this thinking, you know, LOL, Ariana, Romba picked ahead of Ilban and Tesia, and... You know, it should be noted that Ilban and Tesia did indeed get the first 2 spots in that, and that probably had a significant factor. Like, seeing Tesia Vernius in the second seat, like, you almost never see that anymore. Absolutely wild. But these were conscious decisions that were made. You know, Dinosaur decided that he was going to take the full aggressive route. And it was, you know, to be fair, it was as good a board as any to do it. He just didn't necessarily expect the game was going to quite fold out as he did. And again, the problem is when you have no action economy, especially no intrigues as well, it's so hard to go for this strategy and to actually make it work, because you just get like action economy to all kinds of oblivion, and you're face up and people know exactly what they need to beat you, and that makes such a big difference here. So I think that's where it came unstuck. But a fun game nonetheless. So that's going to do it for us here. There is one final game remaining for the second knockouts. I fear that I will not be able to get that covered, however, as I suspect when it's going to be played, they're looking to play it, I'm not available. So that is a little bit unfortunate. But if so, that does mean that next up will be the quarterfinal games, which we've started their organising at time of recording. They just started organising themselves right now. So that is all well and good. I'm looking forward to it. There are some absolutely cracking quarterfinal matches featuring some really good players as well. Sneaker, Orski, but we will have ourselves a brand new Imperium Cup champion, as Drezo did not make it through. So we're going to have ourselves a brand new winner for the tournament, which is awesome. So thank you very much for watching. Hope you guys have enjoyed this pretty insane game. We will see you in the next conflict.